Today we've got the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to not be all in on Wakanda Forever. At least I'm not. Yeah, I said it. After today, I may lose my ticket to the cookout, but whatever. And your girl Lizzo might have the most relationship status ever. But is she just protecting herself from the inevitable heartbreak? And I wish someone would look at me the way Chris Brown looks at his meet greet fans. $4,000, that is. Is that a fair price? The Unmitigated Gall podcast starts now.
So what's this podcast about?
Somebody gotta keep it real, you know.
Reclaiming my time by winning.
Keep my wife's name.
Catch me outside, how about that?
You're talking to
Unabashed hater.
my style is impetuous.
King Kong ain't got.
You come in with some nice waves of the black screen.
You're average looking at best.
I took offense to that.
Robert.
You ain't got the answer, Sway. I have you beat.
You now have the Unmitigated Gall.
Thank you for joining the Unmitigated Gall, the podcast for media junkies and insiders by media junkies and insiders. That's me, that's her. I am one half of this hosting duo. I'm Eric Goldson, and with me, the woman who bought a Groupon to Wakanda. Now, I hear she may have her own T'Challa. Hey, Valerie.
Hello. Don't be putting my business out in the street.
What does the street say? I don't know. I see a little panther in your eyes. A little
Lord.
purring.
Yeah. No.
No?
No.
Maybe I'm just like getting ready for all the relationship topics that we're doing today. Maybe that's what it is.
I know, because maybe that's it, because it ain't me.
It ain't you? You still open to... You still walking the streets of Wakanda in search of your Black Panther?
Okay. Let's use a different phrase.
Okay.
I'm not
walking the street sounds... I'm sorry. You're still roaming the countryside. No, that sounds even worse. That sounds like a broke prostitute. You're still proud on the prowl.
On the prowl.
Yeah, like a Black Panther. Yeah.
I'm trying. I don't know where this brother is, Eric.
You don't know where this miracle man is?
Nah.
Well, I mean...
Nah. And he obviously doesn't know where Fayetteville, Georgia is, because he ain't showed up here. I've given up at this point.
Fayetteville, yeah. That's good. That's a committed man if he's going to be going down that way. But...
I'll let you know when it happens.
But maybe your relationship parameters are too strict. Maybe they should be more like Lizzo. So that's something we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the new Wakanda Forever trailer and the absence. Where does it go from here? I mean, we know, T'Challa's not in it. And then we're going to be talking about Chris Brown, C. Breezy, who you have said the black delegation of women has forgiven. And clearly they are, because they dropped in.
I think I said I don't want to speak for all of us, but I've forgiven Chris Brown.
Yeah. But clearly, a lot of people
enough
have.
to pay $1,000, probably not.
Right. But before we get into these topics, please, if you're out there watching, first of all, thank you. If you're listening, thank you. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. Tell a friend, tell your mama, tell your daddy. We appreciate it.
And follow on Instagram and Twitter.
Exactly. Shall we do Wakanda Forever first? Have you seen the trailer?
Have I seen it? You should ask me how many times I've seen it.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Because I've watched it. I literally watched it every time it came up in my feed. I actually saw that Chadwick Boseman, someone from his estate, probably his wife or someone, they posted it. Lupita posted it. Viola Davis, Marvel. Anybody that posted it, I watched it every single time.
Wow.
The whole thing.
I've watched it once. What stood out to you about it?
I think just all the imagery, just in trying to figure out where is the story going to go. And as I was watching it, I was like, wait a minute, how did this end? Because it looks like there's a funeral. I mean, we know that, unfortunately Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us, but that's not how the story ended in the first Black Panther. So I'm wondering how they're going to, Ryan Coogler, how he's going to pick the story up and carry it through. But yeah, I just love seeing, like, there's obviously some baby being born, some beautiful scene. My favorite scene, though, is the very, very end, and I can't think of the name of the women, and I feel bad. But you see the women who are the guards.
Yeah, General,
jump
whatever.
Off this rock. Yeah, they jump off this rock at the end, all of them, like, in midair. It is the most incredible scene. I can't wait. I will be at the movie theaters probably the night it opens in my African garb, just like we were the last time. Like, I'm excited about it. I can't wait.
All right.
Tell me why you are not buying a ticket to Wakanda.
Well, I didn't say that now.
Time.
I didn't say that. I'm not going to be there on opening night in garb as you are. But let me ask you this before I answer. What is the name of Lupita Nyong'o's character?
I have no idea.
Exactly. And that's my problem with the Black Panther, series. I mean, the original Black Panther and then the sequel is because you just don't feel like it's an action movie and it's a superhero flick. And, while I appreciate that there is this groundswell, there's a large support, a foundation of support from the Black community. I just feel like it is kind of living outside of the rest of the Marvel world because, I just feel like it's kind of a lot of the fandom on it is based on the fact that it's, based on Pan-Africanism, which is fine, but I just don't feel like I'm watching a superhero movie. Like, even the action scenes in the first Black Panther, it just wasn't as fast as I'm used to seeing in most of it. And I hated the fact that T'Challa, the main character, was overshadowed by literally everyone. And now he's not in the second one, and it's no big deal. You can't look at the trailer and tell me who the hero is, who's the lead. I guess it's an ensemble. I guess it's Lupita Nyong'o's character, who you don't even know her character's names. It's Nakia.
Well, okay. To be fair, though, I'm not one of these people who I haven't seen all of the Marvel. I'm not a Marvel versus DC person. I know people who are heavily into those two worlds. I'm not one of those people. We've talked about this a lot. You have two boys, I have two boys. We would go and see some of those films. I've never seen them in the order that they're supposed to. You're supposed to watch them in a certain order. There's a graphic online that you can watch them in a certain order. I'm just not that into it. I'm basically supporting it because it's a Black superhero, which is how I think a lot of people, like, it's, to me, when Black Panther came out, it's like, yes, there have been other Black people in other superhero or Marvel movies, but not as sort of like the main character. It's always sort of like a secondary role. And so for this to come out, when it did, everyone was proud of that. I was proud of it to see a Black superhero, and then to see how we supported it. That to me, when we went to go see it at the movie theater, we weren't the only ones dressed up. Everybody was dressed up, and I get it. I get what you're saying about, like, the fight scenes and it not being, there was a lot of different imagery and, but I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna support it no matter what.
Yeah. I guess,
even though I don't know all the characters, all their names, and I couldn't think of the name of the Black female warriors. I couldn't think of Lupita's character's name, but I'm gonna support it regardless, just because I'm proud that we are finally getting an opportunity in Hollywood to be the leads. Look how many Marvel movies have come out before we got this one, before we got the first one.
Well,
a long time.
You're right. And to your point, that is important. That is, it's great that it's happening. It's just, I can't help but feel a little empty when I'm watching this. Like, who is the hero? What is the point? And I guess the point is that the hero of the movie is Wakanda as a whole. So, the Black Panther movie, T'Challa, I was debating a colleague about this. T'Challa's not the hero at all. It's the land that he draws his power from, because T'Challa, the individual, gets his butt whooped every other person in the movie outshines him, from his opponents to his little sister. Everyone is outshining him, and the director, because he's creating this, is okay with that. So you have to assume that Wakanda is the star and not T'Challa, not Chadwick Boseman. And but so that's a little disappointing to me. Let me ask you this: do you think that they should, recast T'Challa? It sounds like T'Challa's going to be born, so that's how they're going to kind of reconcile
is that. What you got from it?
That's what I got from the trailer. Is that not what you got?
I couldn't figure it out, and I was even more confused when I think Lupita Nyong'o, and again, I don't know the character's name. I know his real name. I think his real name is Winston Duke. He plays the...
So you don't know M'Baku, you don't know Nakia. All you know is just as black people in Africa, so you're going to go, which is great. But I'm saying for the longevity of the Black Panther movie series, don't you want fans that are actually invested in the storyline? They want to know who's versus who.
That's how we're going to be invested no matter what.
That's how.
Black people are going to be invested no matter what. The Marvel fans are going to be invested. They're going to get the audience, regardless. Like, you've got someone like me who doesn't watch Marvel and doesn't go and see all these movies, but I'm for sure going to buy a ticket to that one.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I will say I was a little bit confused because I think it's Lupita Nyong'o who puts out a picture with Winston Duke, who plays who? What's his character's name? Thank you. And she put mom and dad. And I
saw that.
I was like, wait a minute, what's that mean?
See, I thought that was like a shout out to like them being in what is that movie? Us, the Jordan Peele movie, where they were the mom and dad.
Oh, you're right. But it's the timing of her putting it out.
But maybe her character did hook up with M'Baku, and maybe Nakia was distraught by the death of T'Challa, and she went crying to the Ape King, and the Ape King said, "Come into my lair. We'll talk about this, baby. You ain't got to live down there in them lowlands no more. You up at the top where you should be with a king." And one thing led to another. They had a baby, and so now they're gonna have a gorilla Black Panther.
Okay.
No, that's too much.
That was a lot.
That was too much.
Well, here's a thought. What if the trailer was designed in a way so that you don't know what's going to happen? Like, there's nothing worse than watching a movie trailer and you don't even have to go see the movie because you've seen the entire thing in the trailer.
Yeah.
Maybe Ryan Coogler put this trailer together so that we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it looks like towards the end of it that there is a Black Panther. It does to me look like it's a woman. And if anyone, I'm not even a Marvel fan, and I know that Shuri, see, I do know one character, is supposed to end up as the Black Panther.
Isn't it Suri?
Okay, I don't know, Eric.
All right. And what's up with... all right.
The sister is supposed to end up as Black Panther. So the whole idea of whether or not they should or shouldn't recast it, if we're following the storyline as Marvel intended, it was going to be recast regardless.
I know. I'm trying to be open-minded, but can we just stop making all the characters being
Black Panther?
That's why. It just...
But that's how they originally wrote the story.
Oh, it was originally intended to be a woman?
It's always been intended to be the sister. She's the smarter one anyway.
I know, she was better than T'Challa anyway. Oh, here we go. And that's why, that right there is why you shouldn't be allowed to be the Black Panther, because you're going to be emasculating men in the movie theaters, and
Oh, here we go.
We're just.
I wish I had done a little bit more research, because if she ends up as the Black Panther, then we've got this other movie, and I can't think of the name of it. I can't find my phone, but this other movie coming out with Viola Davis and all of these African warrior women.
Isn't it's called like the Warrior Queen or something like that?
Something like that, but like I'm here for all of that, obviously.
Yeah, I'm interested in that Viola Davis movie. It looks good. She looked like she got in great shape for it. I know that the kind of the legend of Amazon women is kind of based in African history.
Do the fight scenes look better to you in that one?
They kind of do, and I think
they do. It looks really good.
And that's what, I just want a superhero movie. Like, at the end of the day, I appreciate, the African culture and all that. But, like I said, if I go to a restaurant, I want the food. I don't want my lead character just getting destroyed the entire movie. I don't want the fight scenes to look like me and Terry out in the street. I want it fast and I want it to look superhuman. So, that's all I'm asking for, Ryan Coogler. That's it.
But I mean, you could be getting that. You don't know. All you saw was the trailer. You saw a 2.5-minute trailer. You may get the fight scenes that you want. I may. I will say I was excited by the woman. It's called The Woman King. The Woman
King. The Woman King.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It looks great. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of this. Black girl magic.
Speaking of black girl magic, Lizzo.
Nice
Lizzo. She has no rules in her relationship. She only cares that her man loves her. I mean, can we really even call him her man? I mean, if there's no rules, there's no...
Yeah, I was confused a little bit by this story. So basically she's saying to her, monogamy is a little claustrophobic. And so she's dating this new guy. He's a comedian, Mike Wright. I went on his page and looked at some of his comedy, and I think you would like it.
Sounds like this relationship is a joke.
Uh-oh. Well, she says they have a non-traditional relationship, and she wants love to be the main event, not a lot of rules.
Here's what I think is happening. I think she is putting up a wall so that she's not hurt by this guy. I don't care if he's out with other people. Because I think that she doesn't want to open herself fully to this guy and then just be devastated. I think that's what's happening. This whole idea of just like monogamy. She said even polyamorous relationships still have too many rules for her. Mm-hmm. So on one hand, she is an artist. So artists kind of do their own thing. But she is a human. She is a woman. And if her heart was broken before from a relationship, it means that at some level she does desire a serious relationship. So maybe she just is not into this guy. But if she is, I think she's just fooling herself. I think she's fooling herself. That's what I think is really going on. Because for all this, I'm strong. I think at the end of the day, she's still deeply insecure and does not want this man to crap on her.
Wow. You got all that from the monogamy is claustrophobic?
I mean, that's a bold statement, is it not?
It is.
Especially from a woman.
Well-being. Yes. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I always sound like the old lady on this show. But I think the kids today, and I say kids even though Lizzo I looked is 34.
Right.
I just think
not a kid at all.
They're making up their own, rules for relationships, and as my mom always says, if you like it, I love it. I don't want that. There need to be some rules. There have to be some rules that you follow. And monogamy is a big one. I actually looked up the definition just so we were clear. And it's interesting because it says a marriage with only one person at a time. I've always just thought of it. There is a secondary definition in monogamy, just relationships. You're just dating one person. So it's like, are they in a monogamous relationship? They're not in a monogamous. She says they're in a monogamous.
She says they're in the soft launch.
Okay.
The soft launch of a relationship, but she didn't say monogamous. They're in the soft launch, but they've been dating for a while, so it's like very soft launch.
Well,
incredibly
maybe
soft.
It is a way to protect herself if things. I guess I just don't understand what that means. Wants love to be the main event, not a lot of rules.
So you would agree with me that this is her fronting to protect her emotions?
I think I need a little bit more information in order to sort of form an opinion. Because when you say you want love to be the main event, but not a lot of rules. Like if love is the main event, then you shouldn't even need rules, because he should be doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is loving you. So it's like, I guess I'm not clear on what the definition of their relationship is. Like, does it mean that it's open? Like, they can see other people? Like, can he love her and be dating some chick on the side? Like,
it sounds like if I'm thinking this is a don't ask, don't tell relationship. I think she's happy that this dude, who she's known since before she blew up, fame-wise, is into her. They clearly must have some type of, physical relationship. I'm going to say sexual. And so she wants to just be happy with the information that she does have and not pry for more because she's scared of what she might find. That's what I would gather from that.
That's what you think? I don't know.
Does that not sound plausible?
I listened. It definitely sounds possible. And I listened to that interview that she did on the Breakfast Club, and like I said, I just more power to her. If you like it, I love it. If it works for the two of you, great. I just don't think that I've ever seen people who sort of have these open relationships or relationships with no rules. It doesn't seem to last in the long run, with the exception maybe of Monique and her husband. I think they have an open relationship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's been rumors that they have an open relationship. We know Will and Jada apparently have an open relationship. God only knows where their marriage stands. I just don't think it works. It's hard enough trying to be in a relationship with one person, and I just don't understand the no rules. Like, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I would think it means partners. I would think it means you have to check in, because if you're in a real relationship, that partner's going to require you to check in. And like, right. I haven't heard from you. You usually call me on your ride home from work. Where you at? Right. So I'm thinking it's stuff like that, but I just think it's BS. I think, what I would like to see from Lizzo is that, because she puts out like this vulnerability, but there's also this badass persona. Like, I don't care about this stuff, but then she comes out later and says, I'm depressed and isolated by my fame and like by them. It's just be authentic. Like, be like, I want to be in love, but I'm scared. Like, I'm not happy with my body, but I am trying to work through it. Like, like all this fake bravado and like, I don't need rules for a relationship. Yes, you do. Quit telling these little kids that.
I agree with.
That's bullshit.
That I agree with. I don't know. For some reason, when I look at her, because I've had conversations about Lizzo with a lot of friends who think she's always doing the most, but for some reason, doing too much. Yeah, when I look at her, I didn't realize. I thought she was in her 20s. I did not realize Lizzo was in her 30s. But I think just like everyone, she's still figuring a lot of things out about herself, about her life, about who she is, who she wants to be, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, for her, she has to do it in the public, in the public eye. Apparently, the two of them, and I don't think we ever even said his name because no one really knows who he is, but Mike Wright is his name.
Yeah.
They were spotted out having dinner or something, and that's sort of how the relationship came to everyone's notice. But
Mike with a Y.
Yes. I made that mistake with one of my kids. I regret it to this day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Winston with a Y?
Yeah. I was pregnant. I had just given birth. Someone said the name Winston. I was like, oh, that's perfect. But all I could think about was the cigarettes and not Churchill. So I changed it to a Y. But he loves it. When he sees it spelled the other way, he goes, Mom, look, there's my name, but they spelled it wrong. So
I mean, I do like Winston with the Y. I do like that.
Thank you. But I think she is, I think she is still, figuring everything out. Hell, I'm 48 and I'm still figuring this shit out. So,
but what I like about you is that at least you're honest and authentic about, what's not working, what you do want, about, how you're asking for help and advice, you're Lori Harvey, give me the masterclass. I mean, you're living in reality.
But
you're
you don't
living
think
in
she
reality.
Is? Maybe that is her reality. Maybe that is the reality. You know how they call it Holly weird? Because things are just different for people who are rich and famous. It's like...
Right, because no one around you, because the people around you are depending on you for a check. So no one in Hollywood will tell you, you're being stupid, all right? So no one says that because they all work for you. So that's why it's Hollywood, because it's a lot of money at stake and a lot of yes men and women. So, no, I mean, just... Lizzo, I mean, and could someone tell this girl to put some clothes on?
Oh, nah, Eric, now. Okay, you're stepping
No, maybe
Mike
Mike would step up and, be more upfront about wanting a committed relationship if she presented herself more respectfully. Like, what man is going to want their woman out there shaking everything for everybody and then doing it so distastefully? Like, I never asked to see Lizzo naked, but I basically know what she looks like naked.
Okay, but do you feel that way because Lizzo is plus size? Like, do you feel that way about Megan Thee Stallion? Do you feel that way about the City Girls?
I feel like they present themselves in a hoish manner and trying to present hoe is cute. Hoe is cute now. Hoe is in. Claim your wholeness. Oh, so I feel like none of it is classy or something that you would want in a wife. But do they look better than Lizzo, half naked and / naked? Yeah, duh.
Oh my
that's
God,
just
Eric.
that's just the truth.
It's your truth.
Obviously,
her boyfriend likes. Some men like plus size women.
No, of course they do, and I even like plus size women to a degree. But I think at some point, I know Jillian Michaels got in a bunch of trouble for just basically calling a spade a spade. Like it's, at some point, you have to worry about your health and saying big girl, big girl, big girl. Yeah, I mean, yeah, big girl is fine, but trying to put out this false bravado is not helping anybody.
You think it's a false bravado? You don't think
yes, of course it's a false bravado.
I know she goes back and forth, but I think some of that is because she may have confidence in herself. She may think she looks good. I think Lizzo is a beautiful girl, but she also has to deal with all of the, it's got to be hard to put something out and to see comments from people. You can say all day, oh, don't read the comments. Those people don't know who you don't know who those people are. Don't listen to them. But if you're constantly hearing and seeing people talking about, oh, you're fat, you're not as pretty as, that's going to have some type of effect on you.
Well, I mean, the world is tough. I mean, I don't know what, I remember one of my teachers in high school used to be like, the world is hard and then you die. I mean, Lizzo, you want it? There's a blessing and a curse, right? You're a famous figure, so because of that, you're making money. You're getting TV shows greenlit. You're someone who's influencing younger generations. The downside of that is people are going to give their opinions about you and comment on your appearance, and you're visible for good or bad. It's just the deal. Stop complaining. I mean, and this whole idea of you just mentioned how she's good with it, she's not good with it, she's waffling on whether or not she's beautiful and empowered. The whole idea of her waffling lets me know that she's not good with it. For me, I know my ideal weight and when I'm good. You know what I mean? I know when I'm off it, but never when I was in my best shape was I well, I don't know if I really am. No, where you look good, you look good, and that's just it. So this idea of how she could feel great about her appearance one day and then not. I mean, she's speaking it into existence, right? This idea of she's beautiful just the way she is. Mm-hmm. And definitely there are guys, maybe her boyfriend, who thinks she's beautiful. Just that's cool, But she's trying to sell me a bag of goods that I'm not buying. I would just want, my main takeaway is like be authentic about it. You know what I mean? Just be authentic about it. Like, don't tell me that you don't care about a relationship. You do. Don't tell me that you think you look good no matter what, because you don't. You feel bad about yourself sometimes, just like everybody else. And you're not 100% right now. So I just don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear her, but isn't that her being authentic? When she's honest and saying, when she goes back and forth, when one minute she's confident about who she is and how she looks, and then the next maybe she's questioning it. Isn't that what we all do?
I could buy that.
So
I could buy that.
She's just putting, you and I may talk to my sister, you may talk to your wife, and she talks to Instagram followers. I don't know. Which is
so just so mentally effed up. But I mean, that's kind of where we are right now with social media.
But I'm sure there are some people who would pay maybe to see and meet Lizzo, which is how we're segueing into the next topic.
Ooh, transition.
So, I want to know, who would you pay $1,000 to see?
At my current salary? Oh my God.
No, let's just say you had $1,000. Somebody gave you $1,000. You can spend it to meet and greet someone. Actually, no.
I guess that depends on what I get with the greet, the meet and greet.
No, because not giving you $1,000. Who would you pay $1,000 to see or to meet?
Oh my God! The only person that I'm like really a mega unreasonable fan of are Michael Jordan, Andre 3000,
okay,
Jay-Z, and I don't think any of those people would be like great meet and greet people. Like,
no.
I have no illusions that those people would not be fun to meet in person. Michael Jordan's grumpy, Jay-Z is aloof, right. Andre is a moody artist. So none of the people that I really care a lot about as entertainers are people who I would pay money to actually meet them, because it would be a letdown. It would be horrible money spent.
Well, that's the opposite of Chris Brown, which is what our last topic is. And fans paid $1,000 for a meet and greet and a photo. And what I love and appreciate about this is, normally I've seen people that go and they get a meet and greet and they get a photo, and they're just standing next to the person and they snap the picture. But these pictures with Chris Brown went viral because, I mean, he looks like he's booed up and cupcaked up with every single person except for the guy whose photo went viral too. But I love that he was like, I think there's one where he's like on top of some girl, like he's holding a girl, he's hugging.
Yeah, he's like holding her from behind, like the prom pose.
Yeah, like I think I wouldn't pay $1,000 for that, but that's a moment and an experience that those fans, like, that was probably worth it to them. Everyone else is just getting your standard like picture, and he's like, oh no, let me put my arms, like, I love that he was into it as much as the fans were, and I think that that's amazing. I don't quite know.
I agree.
Think, did it go viral because of the pictures, or did it go viral because it's $1,000? Because everyone has $1,000 meet and greet backstage. Like, this isn't new. I didn't quite understand what I think it's because of the poses of the artist, of him with the people.
I think it started because of the pictures, and then I think after that it was like, would you do it? I mean, because I did some research too. I know Justin Bieber's, his are starting at like 1,000, 1,500 and up. Yep. I think Usher, you can get like those Vegas packages, but it's a lot of Vegas-y stuff included. But so I think the $1,000 is probably appropriate. I was actually thinking it could be a little higher for that level of intimacy. But
well, I don't think people realize when they paid the $1,000 that that's what they were just thinking. Like, oh, I get to meet Chris Brown and maybe shake his hand, maybe he'll sign something, and then we're just gonna take a standard picture or a selfie or something. Like that was a full on like photo shoot.
I mean, I think it's great for his brand. So, all right. So let me ask you this. So there's been a lot. So Chris Brown has been quietly putting out hits for years. So when does the mainstream media? When does he start popping back up on shows like Dancing with the Stars and America's Got? When does Chris Brown? When is he welcomed back into the bosom of mainstream entertainment shows? When does he start coming on Kelly and Ryan live with Kelly and Ryan? Because I feel like he's so
happening.
close to that. So you think that it's still
I think
he's still locked out?
I think he's locked out, and he's also just hood famous.
Yeah. Which is a shame.
It is, because he's
a dynamic
so
entertainer.
Talented. But I also, if you think about it, like who is currently getting that's in his same genre of music, getting the Kelly and Ryan and the View? No one.
I mean, really, Drake. I mean, Drake could pretty much go to any show he wanted to.
Yeah.
I would say they're pretty interchangeable as far as music. Talent, the amount of songs. Of course, Drake has more hits and bigger hits, but that's probably limited.
I think Drake is probably topping some charts that Chris Brown doesn't. Chris Brown, they play Drake probably on other radio stations that aren't, hip hop and R&B. I don't think that's the case for Chris Brown.
But I think it's because he's been locked out.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying he's only hood famous. He, only we care and know about Chris Brown and his current hits. I don't think he's ever going to sit down with any of those people.
So that's why I was kind of surprised that he was going for $1,000 per meet and greet.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Despite the fact that he isn't on any of those sort of like mainstream shows, his fan base is massive. And obviously you can see from all of the photos, there are people willing to pay that. I'm trying to think of who would I pay $1,000 to see.
Vince Carter, Jay-Z.
Oh,
you probably paid.
I met Vince Carter for free, so I'm good.
Yeah, didn't you stalk him at a restaurant appearance one time?
Stop. I didn't stalk him at a restaurant. He was having a meet and greet. Some friends told me about it. I took some items. I should send you all. I don't know if you've seen all the pictures. It was one of the greatest days ever. I took some items for him to sign.
I think I saw the pictures.
Yeah, we had a moment. He's the only black man I've ever let look inside my purse because he was looking at some of the other items because this lady was like, "Oh no, he can only sign one thing," and he was like, "Nah, it's okay." Like we had a moment.
Oh God. But would you, if that free moment was not available, would you have paid $1,000?
No, to me, like, there's so much more I could do with $1,000 than, because first off, like, let's just say, you get this meet and greet moment and you have sort of the same sort of vibe, or picture with Chris Brown. Like, how long did that last? Like, at most 5 minutes? $1,000 for 5 minutes? No. There's so much more I could do with $1,000.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone. I was trying to think. I think, of course, Vince Carter, because he's my favorite basketball player for reasons related to basketball and not related to basketball. Of course, Jay-Z.
I might end up actually resenting the person after I pay $1,000 to see them. I'm be like, damn, why did I do that? Why did you let me do that?
Which is why I bet you that none of the fans that took pictures with Chris Brown regret that moment because of how special he made it. At least he went, above and beyond. I think other people are like, all right, they pay their money. All right, here, put my arm around you, snap. All right, bye.
You're right.
So
that's all I would do. Like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know why you're crazy enough to see me.
But that's the thing. They're your fans. So you should be happy. Without these people, you aren't Chris Brown or, Drake or whomever. You should be happy to see these people who support you, who come to your concerts, buy your music, and pay. Because here's the thing. That meet and greet was in addition to the cost of the concert ticket. So they paid more than $1,000.
You're right,
but also,
that.
You know what? It's probably $1,000 because of the damn Ticketmaster fee.
Yeah, Ticketmaster. What the hell is wrong with Ticketmaster?
I don't know, but there
they
needs
got
to be some
add-on fees
legislation.
for
there
everything.
Needs to be a boycott. It's ridiculous at this point. Someone I know posted a really funny thing on Facebook about Ticketmaster. It's just like it's getting out of control. And I try to avoid paying those fees, and you end up paying them no matter what. It's unbelievable. So it's probably $1,000, and probably a good 75% of that went to Ticketmaster for the convenience fee and the ticket processing fee and all the other bullshit they add on. It's ridiculous.
It's so crazy. It's like the Supreme Court will restrict women's decisions on their bodies, but they will not restrict Ticketmaster from adding on these damn fees, like these parking and handling. Like, that's why I need you to intervene. But
who, Congress?
Supreme
Here,
Court.
I found it.
Yeah.
Oh, Supreme Court. Okay. So it's like Ticketmaster, concert fee $40, venue fee $21.32, access fee, paperless transmission fee. Then they put fee, fi fo fum fee, because we can fee, might as well fee.
I saw that.
WTF, you going to do fee? Another dollar won't hurt fee. Like the accuracy of that post for Ticketmaster
but no,
is just ridiculous.
Shout out to Chris Brown for giving fans what they want. The only thing I can take away is that this brother understands value. I mean, and then he proved that a couple years back when I don't know if you remember, he had a yard sale in 2019, sold all these things from his closet, had people lined up around the block. It just lets me think that maybe Chris Brown has like this frugal auntie or uncle in his inner circle as just like every now and then just walks up to be like, now you Chris, you should just sell that shit, So I'm just wondering if he has like that person in his inner circle, but shout out to him if he does.
It makes me wonder now that you say that and talking about whether or not he would be on these other shows, like where he would be had that incident not happened with Rihanna.
He would be Drake. He would be Drake. I mean, Chris Brown and Drake. As far as
we've talked about
their
like
songs,
how there's the like who should go up against Usher in the verses, and it's always Chris Brown. But I don't know if you saw a couple of weeks ago, people were comparing and saying, not granted, it's the younger generation, but saying that Chris Brown was better than Michael Jackson. And so I don't think anyone will ever, I mean ever be on that level. You and I lived through the Michael Jackson era. No one will ever be as big. But if you think about, maybe not in terms of songs, so like performance, dancing, all of those things, Chris Brown, he probably could have, taken Michael for a spin or two.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not saying
so
I agree with it. I'm just saying
dumb.
it was viral. There was a lot of conversation about it. Of course, people like me and you are like, there's no one who will ever be better than Michael Jackson.
It doesn't matter.
The younger generation thinks otherwise.
Saying it was viral is not like a legit argument. I mean, little white girls go viral for doing black dances, so that means nothing that it went viral.
I mean, it was a conversation people were having about if Chris Brown is on Michael Jackson's level, and no one will ever have. I remember all of that. I remember that era with Michael Jackson, but I don't know. It's a good conversation.
It's a dumb conversation. Like this, he's not even close.
He isn't.
He's not even close to Michael Jackson. I mean, just the immense popularity worldwide, the amount of music sold, the fandom that Michael had at his peak. You couldn't put like a fan next to Michael Jackson; they'd rip his little nose off.
Yeah,
like that. It's not. Even the way they dance, Chris Brown is the closest to being as good a dancer to Michael. Now you could say that, but as far as like composing songs and like as a child, Michael was able to evoke the type of sensitivity into a song that you would think he actually lived through these experiences.
Right.
Like he's like bleeding into the microphone and he's only 7. He doesn't know what it's like to miss a woman. But that's what Michael Jackson did. And it's just you're seeing people pass out at the sight of him. You know what I mean? Grown thug type dudes just, oh, Michael. You know what I mean? So
Also,
it's stupid when people say stuff like that.
I know. Probably, I won't even say top 5. I saw Michael Jackson, the Victory Tour. My mom got us tickets. I'd say top 3 concerts. Probably the best concert I've ever been to.
Yeah, let's stop, comparing Chris Brown to Michael Jackson.
I'm just telling you, that's what the streets are saying, Eric.
That's what the kids are saying. Yeah.
They don't know anything.
Yeah, the kids are also paying way too much for Yeezys. What you got for me? I've enjoyed the show today. What you got for me for recommendations and invitations?
Okay,
let's start with recommendations.
All right. Well, I'm going to recommend something that you dissed last time.
Oh,
Do you remember?
now you got my attention.
I know. I'm going to recommend. Now, granted, this is only for people who live in or near the surrounding Atlanta area, but Atlantic Station, you are so wrong.
I'm not. Atlantic Station sucks.
When was the last time you were there?
Maybe a month ago.
Really? I went there.
There's no escalator. There's no escalator anymore. They just decided to stop maintaining it. They were like, you know what? No one comes here anymore. It'd be cheaper to just take out this escalator.
Okay.
No restaurants are open. You have to make there's no walk-ins in the restaurants, and half of them aren't even open anymore. And the people that you do see down there are just like little teenagers who wanted to get away from the house.
Okay.
Ain't no grown folks around there spending money.
Nothing but grown people when I went this past weekend, and I walked right into a restaurant. I've been there twice, 2 different restaurants. They've got a nice green space. There's all this shopping that you can do now.
It's not green. It's fake grass.
I mean, but you know what I mean. Like they have the same thing at Colony Square. It's nice. It's cute. I went there a couple of weekends ago, and in the daytime, because this past weekend I went at night, but in the daytime they had vendors. People were selling, lotions and potions and candles and things. It was really
lotions and potions and candles. Oh my! Lotions and potions and candles. Oh my! Shabala, that's why it's great having you on here, because you're so optimistic. You give people credit, and so it's great that I have someone like you in my life. You are who your friends are. Yes, so I'm happy to have you.
I had both times. I had a really great time. You get to park for free for 2 hours. Like, you can't do that anywhere in Atlanta. Like,
I feel like, was this a date?
No. The first time,
this was just you hanging out with the girls?
No. Both times it was for AABJ, and for people who don't know, the Atlanta Association of Black Journalists. One time it was a brunch. The second time it was just a get together because NABJ is coming up next week. And both times I had a really good time. I found parking really easily. I didn't take the escalator. I just took the stairs. I didn't realize the escalator didn't work anymore, but I didn't park on that side. But the movie theater looks really nice. It's back. There was lots of places to eat, lots of places to shop. There's vendors. There's a green space.
Definitely a lot of parking these days.
Yes.
A lot of parking.
I recommend Atlantic Station. Go and check it out for yourself.
Yes, please do. Atlantic Station. We love a sponsorship. And
you can't ask for a sponsorship
turn my frown right upside down.
There you go. All right, who do you recommend? Or what are you recommending? What did you watch this weekend?
I'm recommending a thing, vegetables, because I'm not getting enough vegetables right. So I feel like if I put it out there, so it's summer, should be eating fresh vegetables. I just feel like this past weekend I had 2 burgers, and it just, I just felt like a couple years taken off my chest. It was just, I need more vegetables. I recommend you out there eat it too.
Okay.
Don't
you have a garden, or didn't you start one?
I do. It's just so unkempt.
Oh.
See, the thing is, my oldest son, he likes to start things, but he won't maintain them. And my mother is very much into gardening. You go to her house, the garden's immaculate. It looks like something out of My Secret Garden. You have a little archway and a little vine of vegetables growing over it, and there's little brick stairs with flowers and vegetables coming up each side, and then you go out in my backyard and there's like this one little blocked in area with with like old warped wood, and there's like weeds everywhere. So technically I have a garden, but you know, I need to hold myself to
and everything.
I was, but I just, you know, you are who you are, player. And it's just, I know that I should be about composting and I know I should be about gardening, but at the end of the day, I just don't give a shit. Like, if I can just buy organic vegetables and I don't have, like, I would love, you know, I'm a busy person. So when I want to unwind, I don't want to do it sweating over a garden. I want to, like,
so that's
you
not
know,
your
Netflix
idea
and chill.
Of, like, going out and you have people are like, oh yeah, I was out in my garden and it helps me relax.
That's not relaxing to me.
Okay. All right.
That's not relaxing to me. My dad used to have me slaving in the backyard as a kid,
Right.
and now there's very few things that I would put, you know, behind gardening as far as things I want to do. Like, I got 1,000 things I'd rather do before gardening.
Yeah. All right.
But needless to say, I recommend it.
I better
for
see some
those of you who
vegetables
are
on
better
your,
than me
on your plate if I walk by your desk at work.
Yep. Well, we won't talk about that fried chicken.
I know. I knew you were gonna. I knew you were gonna mention
We'll
it.
talk about that. All right, invitations. Who would you like to see on the Unmitigated Gall?
Oh, there's only one person that we can invite this week. You should know who it is.
Oh,
Beyonce. Come on.
Chris Brown?
Beyonce.
Oh, is her album dropping soon?
Oh my God. Friday.
Oh, hey.
You got to get ready, Eric.
I'm gonna shock you.
Okay.
I like her latest single. I've been hearing from a lot of you Beyonce fans. Y'all aren't really that into it.
What?
But I tell you why it's good. Well, maybe not you, but I know a lot of other people who are just a lot of black women who aren't really feeling this. You don't break my soul.
Oh.
You don't break
That's
my.
like I
I think it's good because.
at work.
Oh really?
It pops
But I
into
tell
my
you why
head
it's
all the
great.
time. I love it
Because it's a dance song,
It's
and it's like something that you can see in
dance song.
EDM clubs,
Yes.
in gay clubs, in mainstream clubs. This is a song that could literally be played anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think
I especially
while
love the Big Freedia part. Like that's probably my favorite. I mean, I love the Beyonce part too, but
yeah,
and I love the rap that she does. But I love Big Freedia.
I just like it feels like a big hit. Like this feels like one of those songs that's just gonna be around for a long time. Yeah. And while her other albums have been, well, one was about being a woman scorned, but a lot of her music lately has been about being apologetically black,
Right.
so which is great. You know, it's given, you know, young black girls that role model. But I think this, you know, I think sometimes you just got to mix it up and just give people a dance hit. You know,
Exactly.
So
I think people
that's
maybe,
what's good about it.
I love Beyonce. Period. You know this. Definitely drinking the lemonade, but yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people, you know, she's got Brown Skin Girl and Freedom and all these other songs that came out recently. But if the beat drops and I hear Crazy in Love, like I love that song. It's her very first hit.
Right.
And so this sort of reminds me of that of sort of the classic Beyonce, like Diva, or you know, any of those songs where as soon as you hear it, you're like, I'm on the dance floor, I'm shaking my ass.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a slap. Sometimes you just need a good slap.
Exactly.
You don't need an empowerment message.
Right.
You know, that's cool and all, but if you're a musician, it definitely helps to keep just a good hit song in the rotation.
Well, and that's the great thing about this song. Maybe it is sort of an empowerment and shake your ass. It's got a, you know, go out there, girl, find your love, quit your job. I don't recommend the quit your job part. Beyonce's a billionaire. We are not.
Right.
Keep your job.
Right.
But
so you can see it's got everything.
It does.
It's got everything.
I think it's a great song. I play it all the time, and like I said, it rings in my head at work.
Look at that. We didn't even plan to put Beyonce in the show. She just organically
find a way.
appeared out of organic honey.
Find a way every time.
Every time. That's all good.
Who's your invite?
Well, in honor, you mentioned the NABJ. Mm-hmm. So I would like to just invite Roland Martin, Mark Lamont Hill, Soledad O'Brien. Some of my favorite one-time CNN correspondents and anchors who just, kind of went away for one reason or another. Around NABJ times, I think especially Roland Martin, because he's, for those of us in the, black journalist community, he's front and center, very vocal, very prominent. But no, I mean, I would really love to see what Mark Lamont Hill, what he's up to. He's one of my favorite, commentators and correspondents, anchors. He had a show on BNC. And then Soledad, how she's just been laying waste to everybody on Twitter for about 3 years now.
It's amazing.
Just being savage out there.
It's amazing.
So yeah, in honor of NABJ, just I'd love to have a great prominent black journalist on the show.
I love that. Well, just so you know, so I don't know why, but Soledad follows me on Twitter, so maybe I can send her a message. I have Mark Lamont.
They go down.
I have Mark Lamont. Go down in the DM. I have Mark Lamont Hill's email address, and we know the supervising producer for Roland Martin show, so maybe we should make some.
Yeah, I think we could get rolling if we really wanted to happen. So
maybe.
Roland, don't hey now, come on now, don't play.
Yeah, he can help us maybe with some of our getting some more subscribers. He's got a pretty big his show on YouTube is pretty big, so I like that invitation. That's actually a really good one.
There it is.
Despite the fact that you are
thing
dissing me, and I'll be NHBJ by myself.
Well,
I mean, not by
either go
myself.
to NABJ or go to the Chiefs Broncos game. That money had to be spent, so I was like, I got to see my boy Patrick Mahomes going at it with Russell Wilson. So, you black journalists, hold it down.
I didn't think about that. Patrick and Russell. That's a good one. Is that in Denver or in Kansas City?
In Denver.
Ooh.
In Mile High.
Ooh.
It's going to be a situation.
That's going to be nice.
So. But look, I had to drop this on for you. It's that time. We got to wrap it up. But Chevalier, like and subscribe, right?
Exactly. Like, subscribe, follow. We'll see you next
Peace,
Wednesday.
y'all. See you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.